I bolted upright in bed, my heart slamming against my ribs like a trapped animal, as the soft warmth of lips brushed against mine in the dim glow of the bedside lamp. It wasn't my husband David's indifferent peck. It was tender, searching, and utterly foreign. There, in the guest room of our suburban Chicago home, my best friend Mackenzie lay beside me, her eyes still closed in sleep, her hand gently cupping my cheek as if this were the most natural thing in the world. What the hell was happening? My mind reeled, replaying the night before. Mackenzie crashing at our place after a late girls' night out, too tipsy to drive back to her apartment in the city. David had barely grunted a good night before retreating to his office, as usual, leaving us to giggle over wine and old memories on the pull-out couch. But now this. Her kiss lingered on my skin like a brand, igniting questions I'd buried deep for years. Was this a dream? A mistake? Or the crack in the facade of my perfectly curated life? I slid out from under the covers, my bare feet hitting the cold hardwood floor, and paced to the window overlooking our manicured lawn. Danielle, that's me, 32, married for 8 years to a man who treated our marriage like a business merger. David was successful, a corporate lawyer who provided everything. The house in Oak Park, the vacations to Aspen, the security I'd craved since my chaotic childhood in a conservative Iowa farm town. But affection, intimacy, those were luxuries we traded for stability long ago. Our bed was a battlefield of silence, where touches were obligatory and conversations clipped. I'd convinced myself this was adulthood, sacrifice for the greater good. Family expectations loomed large. My parents, devout Catholics, beamed at our wedding photos on their mantel, oblivious to the emptiness beneath. Mackenzie stirred behind me, murmuring something incoherent. I turned, watching her eyelids flutter open, those piercing blue eyes meeting mine with confusion that quickly morphed into horror. Danielle? Oh God, what did I? She sat up, clutching the blanket to her chest, her short blonde hair tousled from sleep. At 30, Mackenzie was the free spirit I'd envied since college, unattached, adventurous, always chasing her photography dreams across the country. We'd met freshman year at Northwestern, bonded over late-night study sessions and shared secrets. She was the one who listened when I vented about David's emotional distance, the one who made me laugh until my sides ached. But this crossed lines I didn't even know existed. I think you were dreaming, I whispered, my voice steadier than I felt. Inside, a storm raged. Why did her touch feel so right? Why wasn't I disgusted? Society's whispers echoed in my head. Good girls marry men, build families, uphold traditions. My sister had already popped out 2 kids. My mom called weekly to hint about grandbabies. Coming out as, what? Questioning. That would shatter everything. Betray David, disappoint my family, face the judgmental stares at church picnics. But as Mackenzie apologized profusely, scrambling for her clothes, I couldn't ignore the spark she'd ignited. For the first time in years, I felt alive, not just existing. The next morning, David sipped his coffee at the kitchen island, scrolling through emails on his phone, oblivious as ever. Mackenzie leave early? He asked without looking up. I nodded, pouring myself a cup with trembling hands. She had bolted at dawn, muttering excuses about a shoot in the city, but her text buzzed in my pocket. We need to talk. I'm so sorry. Sorry for what? Awakening something I'd suppressed? I stared at my reflection in the toaster. Pale, composed Danielle, the dutiful wife. But inside, doubts festered. Was my marriage a lie? Had I been hiding from myself all along? The thought terrified me, yet exhilarated me too. What price would I pay to chase this truth? Over the following days, I threw myself into routine. Work at the marketing firm, grocery runs, forced dinners with David where we discussed weather and work like strangers. But Mackenzie's kiss haunted me. Late at night, alone in the study, I'd replay it, my fingers tracing my lips. Guilt gnawed at me. David didn't deserve betrayal, even unintentional. He was a good provider, if not a passionate partner. Our wedding vows echoed, for better or worse. Was this the worse? Or my chance at better? I debated calling my therapist, but what would I say? My best friend kissed me, and now I question everything? No, that invited labels I wasn't ready for. Lesbian. Bisexual? The words felt foreign, dangerous in our circle of straight-laced friends. Then Mackenzie called. Danielle, please meet me. I can't stop thinking about it. Her voice cracked, vulnerable in a way I'd never heard. We agreed on a neutral spot. A quiet park bench by Lake Michigan. As I drove there, my mind raced through scenarios. Denial, confession, rejection. What if she felt nothing? What if I did? The wind off the lake whipped my hair as I spotted her, pacing with a coffee in hand. She looked radiant in the sunlight, her casual jeans and sweater hugging her frame. I wasn't dreaming about someone else, she admitted as we sat. It was you. It has been for years. Her words hit like a punch. Years? How had I missed the signs, the lingering hugs, the intense eye contact, the way she'd drop everything for me? But you date men, I stammered. She laughed bitterly. I try to fit in. My family's Southern Baptists. They'd disown me if they knew. The parallels stung. Both of us trapped by expectations, performing heteronormativity to survive. As she spoke, tears welling, I reached for her hand. Electricity shot through me. This wasn't friendship. It was more, terrifyingly more. But touching her meant risking it all. My marriage, my reputation, my sense of self. We parted with promises to think it over, but the seed was planted. That night, David noticed my distraction. What's wrong? He asked, rare concern in his voice. I lied, blaming work stress. Inside, betrayal brewed. How could I stay with him, feeling this pull elsewhere? The moral quandary tore at me. Was love a choice or a force? Society screamed choice. Honor your vows, suppress desires. But my heart whispered otherwise. As I lay awake, Mackenzie's face filled my thoughts. The cost of pursuit loomed, divorce scandals, family rifts, social isolation. Yet, ignoring it meant a lifetime of quiet despair. Which poison would I choose? The weeks blurred into a haze of stolen glances and secret texts. Mackenzie and I met in hidden corners, coffee shops in distant suburbs, walks along forgotten trails, where we dissected our feelings like fragile artifacts. I love you, Danielle, she confessed one rainy afternoon in a dimly lit diner, her hand trembling as it covered mine. Not as a friend, as everything. The admission shattered my defenses. I pulled away, heart pounding. Love? From a woman? My upbringing rebelled. Girls like me married men, bore children, attended PTA meetings. But her eyes, pleading and sincere, mirrored my turmoil. What about David? I whispered. She sighed. You deserve more than his indifference. Back home, the facade cracked further. David and I argued over trivialities, dinner plans, weekend chores, but beneath lurked my growing resentment. He sensed the shift, probing with uncharacteristic persistence. Are you seeing someone? He accused one evening, his face reddening. I denied it, but guilt twisted like a knife. Was emotional infidelity worse than physical? I hadn't crossed that line, yet my thoughts betrayed him daily. Nights became battlegrounds of insomnia, where I'd weigh the scales. Stability versus passion, duty versus desire. My parents called, gushing about my cousin's wedding. When's your turn for kids? Mom asked innocently. I choked back tears. How could I explain this unraveling? Mackenzie pushed for clarity. We can't live in limbo, she texted. We met at her studio apartment downtown. Walls lined with her black and white photos capturing raw human emotion. As we talked, proximity ignited sparks. She leaned in, her breath warm on my neck. Tell me to stop, she murmured. I didn't. Our lips met, deliberate this time, sending waves of heat through me. It was wrong, adultery, societal taboo, but undeniably right. We pulled apart, breathless. This changes everything, I said. She nodded, eyes fierce. Are you ready to fight for us? The decision loomed like a guillotine. I confided in my sister, Lisa, over lunch in a bustling cafe. What if I'm not straight? I ventured hypothetically. Her fork paused midair. Danielle, that's not you. You've got David, a good life. Don't throw it away on confusion. Her words stung, echoing the internalized homophobia I'd fought to ignore. Family pressure mounted. Dad emailed about a church retreat, emphasizing traditional values. Society's lens narrowed. Lesbian meant outcast, especially in our Midwest bubble. Friends whispered about a neighbor's phase that ended in divorce and custody battles. Was I prepared for that scorn? David confronted me days later, finding a text from Mackenzie on my phone. Who's this? He demanded, voice laced with hurt. I crumbled, confessing the kiss, the feelings. His face crumpled. A woman? After all these years. Betrayal etched his features. We screamed, him about loyalty, me about his emotional absence. You were never there. I yelled. He stormed out, slamming the door. Alone I sobbed, the weight of my choices crushing. Had I destroyed a man for selfish desires? Moral ambiguity clawed at me. Was leaving for love justified, or pure selfishness? Mackenzie offered solace, but tension brewed between us too. You have to choose, she urged during a heated call. I can't be your secret. Her vulnerability exposed cracks. Her own family history of abandonment made her fear rejection. I hesitated, torn between worlds. A work event forced a facade. Smiling beside David, mingling with colleagues who praised our perfect couple status. Inside, hypocrisy burned. How long could I pretend? Therapy became my lifeline. In a sterile office, I unpacked layers. Suppressed attractions from college, ignored crushes on women. You're not broken, the counselor said. But decisions have consequences. Indeed. Coming out meant potential job whispers. Marketing wasn't immune to bias. Friends might drift. Family could shun. Yet staying meant suffocating. One night I drafted divorce papers in secret, heart aching. The price. Financial strain, emotional wreckage. But freedom beckoned. Confrontations escalated. David returned, begging for counseling. We can fix this, he pleaded. His desperation humanized him. Perhaps he'd been trapped too in his own stoicism. Sympathy warred with resolve. Meanwhile, Mackenzie grew distant, hurt by my indecision. I won't wait forever, she warned. The push-pull tore me apart. In a moment of clarity, I drove to her place, rain pounding the windshield like accusations. I'm leaving him, I declared at her door. Joy lit her face, but doubt lingered in her eyes. Had I betrayed too much? Family intervention loomed. Lisa called, alarmed by rumors. Mom's worried. This isn't you. I snapped, defending my truth. It is me. Always has been. The call ended in tears, hers judgmental, mine defiant. Society's backlash previewed. Online forums debated late bloomers, some supportive, others vicious. I braced for isolation. As high noon approached, I filed for divorce. David's signature came with resignation. I hope she's worth it, he said bitterly. The words haunted. Was she? Our first real date post-filing felt stolen. Dinner in a hidden bistro, hands intertwined. But shadows loomed. Whispers at work, cold shoulders from mutual friends. The cost mounted, but so did hope. Was this awakening worth the wreckage? Freedom tasted bittersweet, like dark chocolate laced with salt. The divorce proceedings dragged on. A battlefield of assets and accusations where David's lawyer painted me as the villain, unfaithful, unstable. She's leaving for a woman, he sneered in court, turning my truth into ammunition. The judge's neutral gaze felt like judgment. Spectators whispered, fueling my paranoia. Society's undercurrents surfaced. Conservative colleagues avoided eye contact. Liberal ones offered awkward support. You're brave, a coworker said, but her tone implied reckless. I questioned daily. Had I chosen correctly or impulsively? Mackenzie became my anchor, our relationship deepening amid chaos. We moved in together, her studio expanding to hold my belongings, a symbolic merge. But cohabitation revealed fractures. You're still married in your head, she accused during a fight over my lingering calls with David about logistics. Jealousy flared. Her past flings with men resurfaced in arguments. Am I just an experiment? She demanded. I reassured her, but doubts crept in. Was this love or rebound? Internal conflicts raged. Guilt over hurting David mingled with resentment toward societal norms that forced my denial. Family rifts deepened. Mom visited unannounced, her face etched with disapproval. This is a phase, Danielle. Think of your soul. Her words invoked childhood sermons on sin, making me defensive. It's not a choice, Mom. It's me. She left in tears, cutting contact. Dad followed suit, his silence louder than words. Holidays loomed empty. No turkey dinners, no gift exchanges. The price of authenticity. Isolation from blood ties. Friends divided. Some rallied, hosting coming-out parties. Others ghosted, fearing association. One confided, "My husband wouldn't understand." Homophobia's subtle sting. Mackenzie faced her own demons. Her photography gigs dried up after a client discovered our relationship. "They said it doesn't align with their brand," she vented, slamming her laptop. Economic fallout hit hard. "We scraped by on my salary, tensions rising." "Is this worth it?" she asked one night, curled on the couch. I held her, whispering affirmations but uncertainty gnawed. Moral dilemmas intensified. Had I dragged her into my mess? Was pursuing happiness selfish if it harmed others? A turning point came at a support group for LGBTQ women. Sharing stories, I heard echoes of my struggles. Closeted marriages, family estrangements. One woman spoke of reconciliation. Another of permanent loss. Inspiration mixed with fear. "You have to own your choices," the facilitator said. I did, confronting David for closure. Over coffee he admitted faults. I was distant. But this. Hurt lingered but understanding dawned. "Be happy," he said grudgingly. Relief washed over me but scars remained. Betrayal struck from unexpected quarters. Lisa, my sister, outed me to extended family via a group email, framing it as concern. Pray for Danielle's confusion. Fury boiled. I called her, voice shaking. "You had no right," she defended. "I'm saving you from hell." The maw of religious dogma yawned, pitting love against faith. Mackenzie urged restraint, but I cut ties, the decision heavy. How many relationships could I sacrifice? High drama unfolded at a family wedding I attended alone. Aunts clucked tongues, cousins avoided me. "What about kids?" one asked pointedly. The heteronormative pressure crushed. I fled early, sobbing in the car. Mackenzie waited at home, her embrace a balm. "We'll build our own family," she promised. But doubts persisted. Could we withstand the onslaught? Work provided distraction, but bias lurked. A promotion bypassed me. Whispers suggested my lifestyle factored in. I filed a complaint, igniting office tension. Allies emerged, but enemies too. Resilience grew, forged in fire. Mackenzie's art flourished underground, capturing queer stories. Our bond strengthened through adversity, but at what cost? Sleepless nights tallied losses. Financial security, familial warmth, social ease. A moral crossroads arrived when Mom reached out, apologetic. "I miss you." Temptation to reconcile warred with self-respect. "Only if you accept us," I stipulated. She hesitated, the silence damning. Rejection renewed pain but affirmed my path. Mackenzie and I vowed forward, planning a commitment ceremony, defiant against norms. Invites went out selectively. Responses mixed. Excitement mingled with dread. Would attendance validate or absence condemn? As climax built, a health scare tested us. Mackenzie fainted at a shoot. Tests revealed stress-induced issues. "This life's too hard," she admitted in the hospital. Panic gripped me. Had my choices endangered her? Guilt surged, questioning everything. But she squeezed my hand. "I choose you again." Resolve hardened. We emerged stronger but wary. The narrative of sacrifice continued. Love demanded payment, in tears and triumphs. Was the ledger balanced? The commitment ceremony approached like a storm front, charged with promise and peril. We chose a simple venue, a lakeside pavilion in Wisconsin, away from Chicago's prying eyes. Invites to select friends and Mackenzie's estranged brother elicited mixed replies. Enthusiastic yes from allies, polite declines from fence-sitters. My family's absence stung like an open wound. Mom's final text read, "I can't condone this." Religious convictions trumped maternal love, a bitter pill. Inside I raged. How could faith justify abandonment? But pity tempered anger. She was prisoner to her beliefs as I'd once been. Preparations amplified tensions. Mackenzie obsessed over details, her anxiety manifesting in snaps. "What if no one comes?" she fretted. I soothed her but mirrored fears gnawed. This wasn't just a party. It was a declaration against societal tides. News of similar events turning sour, protests, family interventions haunted us. Security measures felt paranoid yet necessary. Moral weight pressed. By publicly embracing our love, were we inviting harm or pioneering change? David's shadow lingered. He sent a card. "Wishing you well." civility but no attendance. Relief mixed with sadness, our shared history reduced to politeness. Friends from our old circle bowed out, citing discomfort. It's too soon, one said. Betrayals echo. Loyalty fractured by orientation. Isolation deepened, but so did determination. We leaned on our queer community, forging bonds in group chats and meetups. Stories of resilience inspired. Couples overcoming disownment, thriving despite odds. The day arrived, sunlight glinting off the lake like diamonds. I stood in a flowing white dress, heart thundering, as Mackenzie approached in a tailored suit, her smile radiant. Vows exchanged amid tears. Promises of fidelity, support, endurance. Guests applauded, a small but fervent crowd. Joy surged but undercurrents tugged. Absent faces, unspoken judgments. A cousin slipped in late, whispering support. Not everyone agrees, but I do. A crack in the family wall, hopeful yet fragile. Post-ceremony, reality crashed. Photos leaked online via friends share, igniting backlash. Hate comments flooded. Abomination. Think of the children. Trolls doxed us. Threats arrived via email. Panic set in, Mackenzie hyperventilated, clutching her phone. Why can't they leave us alone? Societal venom exposed. Progress masked deep-seated prejudice. We reported but damage done. Work suffered. Clients hesitated. Economic strain mounted, forcing tough choices. Downsize apartment, cut luxuries. The price of visibility. Safety compromised. Internal reckonings followed. Did we push too far? I wondered aloud one night. Mackenzie shook her head. Hiding is worse. Her conviction bolstered mine, but doubts persisted. Moral ambiguity. Was public defiance heroic or hubristic? Lives intersected. Our story inspired a young niece to come out, but alienated elders. Ripples of consequence. Family drama peaked when Dad called voice gruff. Your mother's heartbroken. No congratulations, only recrimination. You've shamed us. I countered. Love isn't shame. The line went dead, severing ties definitively. Grief engulfed me, losing parents to dogma. Mackenzie held me through sobs, her own tears falling. We'll be our own family. Resolve born from ruin. Professional fallout intensified. My boss pulled me aside. Clients are uneasy. Subtle demotion loomed. I fought back, rallying HR with discrimination claims. Victory tasted hollow, colleagues' wariness lingered. Mackenzie's career rebounded via queer networks, but at personal cost. Estrangement from old mentors. Sacrifices tallied. Comfort for authenticity. A betrayal blindsided us. A mutual friend from college, feigning support, leaked private chats to David, fueling his alimony demands. She's playing victim, he claimed in court. Fury boiled, trust shattered. We confronted her. Why? Jealousy spilled. You had it all and threw it away. Human frailty exposed, envy masking intolerance. The incident hardened us, pruning toxic ties. As tensions crested, a moment of grace. Lisa reached out, apologetic. I was wrong. Can I visit? Tentative reconciliation bloomed over coffee, tears and truths exchanged. It scares me, she admitted. But you're my sister. Bridges mended slowly, a testament to love's persistence. Yet, not all healed, parents remained distant. The narrative evolved. From destruction to reconstruction, paying dearly for each step. Was the journey justified? Reconstruction demanded vigilance. A daily dance with demons internal and external. Mackenzie and I settled into rhythms. Morning coffees laced with affection. Evenings debating dreams. But scars pulsed. Anniversaries of the divorce triggered guilt. Reminders of lost family evoked ache. Do you regret? She asked once, vulnerability raw. Never you, I replied. Truth but nuanced, regret for pain inflicted, not the path chosen. Moral ledger balanced precariously. Happiness gained, but at whose expense? Society's gaze softened incrementally. Pride events embraced us. Media spotlights on queer couples normalized our existence. Yet microaggressions persisted. Stares in stores, slurs online. Resilience forged armor, but fatigue set in. Why fight every day? I vented. Mackenzie's response. Because we deserve to exist. Her fire reignited mine, propelling advocacy. volunteering at LGBTQ centers, sharing our story in panels. Impact rippled. A teen thanked us for courage, mirroring my younger self. Purpose emerged from pain. Family thawing continued haltingly. Lisa's visits increased, her kids curious about Aunt Mackenzie. Innocence bridged gaps. Mom sent a birthday card and signed but present. A whisper of hope. Dad remained silent, his absence a void. Acceptance's price. Patience, forgiveness. Internal conflicts eased through therapy, unpacking layers of shame. You're whole, the counselor affirmed. Self-love bloomed, tentative but real. Professional triumphs offset losses. A new job at an inclusive firm valued my skills sans bias. Mackenzie's exhibit sold out, her art channeling our saga into powerful visuals. Financial stability returned, but humility lingered. Wealth secondary to integrity. Friends reformed circles. True allies stayed, pretenders faded. Community became family, rich in diversity. A climactic confrontation arose when David remarried, inviting me to the wedding. For closure, his note read. I attended, Mackenzie by my side. Seeing him happy stung but liberated. Thank you for letting go, he said privately. Mutual respect dawned, healing old wounds. No betrayals echo, only growth. Yet challenges persisted. A conservative ballot measure threatened rights. We protested, voices hoarse. Exhaustion mounted but solidarity fueled. Is this life worth the fight? Mackenzie pondered post-rally. Every bit, I affirmed. Love's cost. Eternal vigilance. Years condensed experiences. Joys and quiet moments, sorrows and setbacks. We adopted a dog, symbolizing commitment sans children, defying expectations. Society evolved slowly. Acceptance grew but prejudice endured. Our story, once scandal, became inspiration. In reflection, paths diverged at that fateful kiss. Choices wrought destruction and creation, demanding sacrifices profound. Inner peace arrived, hard-won through trials. But questions lingered. Had I chosen rightly? Was betraying a loveless marriage for true passion morally defensible, or an unforgivable act of self-indulgence? Years later, as we sat on our porch overlooking a modest yard in a progressive suburb, the weight of our journey settled like fine dust. Mackenzie's hand in mine felt like home, a far cry from the cold silences of my past. But memories intruded. David's broken expression, Mom's tearful pleas, the isolation of early days. Each decision carried a toll. Financial dips that forced overtime, emotional voids filled with therapy bills, social circles narrowed to the steadfast. Yet gains shone brighter. Authentic laughter, shared dreams, a life unmasked. Advocacy deepened our bond. We spoke at schools, demystifying queer lives for youth grappling with identity. One girl approached post-hoc. You give me hope. Her words validated sacrifices, echoing our own awakenings. But backlash followed, hate mail canceled events. Resilience tested limits. Mackenzie's health scare recurred under stress. We can't save everyone, I reminded her. Balance became mantra. Self-care amid activism. Family reconciliation inched forward. Mom visited sporadically. Conversations skirting faith but embracing presence. I love you, she said once, a breakthrough. Dad's deathbed call brought closure. Be happy. Tears flowed, forgiveness posthumous but real. Lisa's family integrated us fully. Kids calling Mackenzie Auntie Mac. Blood ties mended, scarred but stronger. Professionally, peaks and valleys. My marketing campaigns championed diversity, earning awards. Mackenzie's photography book on queer resilience hit shelves. Royalties easing burdens. Success tasted sweeter post-struggle. A testament to perseverance. Intimate moments fortified us. Anniversaries celebrated with quiet toasts, vacations to affirming destinations. Love evolved, passionate to profound, weathering storms. Doubts faded, replaced by certainty. The price paid immense but worthwhile. Yet, in quiet hours, ethical debates resurfaced. Society judged harshly, we judged ourselves harsher. Was uprooting lives for personal truth justified? The answer, nuanced, lay in lived experience. Was betraying a loveless marriage for true passion morally defensible, or an unforgivable act of self-indulgence?